First, you want to establish your credibility and trust as quickly as possible. Your first impressions are going to matter. This is all that storming and forming phases we hear about in leadership trainings. So you want to make sure that you're demonstrating your competence. What's up, everybody? It's Jason McClaren with the Leadership Loading Podcast. And today we're diving into a very essential topic, navigating leadership transitions in the workplace. Leadership transitions are inevitable, whether you're stepping into a new role or getting promoted into a new company. So how you manage these transitions can make or break your success. And so as a new leader, that's what we're going to talk about today. First, let's take a moment to define what we mean by leadership transitions. These are moments when you're moving from one leadership position to another. This can be in the same organization or with a new organization. Like I said, they can be internal, like a promotion, or external, where you're going to a new organization. The important thing is to remember is that these transitions are not just about adjusting to the new role. They're about your entire team and making sure that everyone adjusts to you as a new leader. This brings a unique set of challenges because you have to gain trust in this new team and understand their dynamics, all while managing your own leadership style and asserting that at the same time. So how do we do that? First, you want to establish your credibility and trust as quickly as possible. Your first impressions are going to matter. This is all that storming and forming phases we hear about in leadership trainings. So you want to make sure that you're demonstrating your competence, knowing what you're doing. That's why you got promoted or put into the role, but also leading with integrity and making sure that if you don't know something, that you're not just making it up as you go. So second, you want to make sure that you're going to learn your new role thoroughly and understand the team dynamics. If you're getting promoted, you may be in the same department that you were already in. And so maybe you know some of the things that are going on, but you may have got promoted to a new role and you're over several other departments that you've never worked in before, right? You need to learn what those departments do. Some of this can be accomplished through shadowing or what I call servant leadership. So you can do all that to figure out what your weaknesses are and how you can best support the team. Third, you want to have clear and transparent communication. You want to set expectations with your team and tell them, how they can communicate with you, but also you want to set up regular check-ins. This will help you prevent misunderstandings so that everybody's on the same page. And, if you're having these check-ins, you can talk to your one line down or your one person down and, let them know what's going on. And then also your team knows that they can come talk to you whenever they need to come get a hold of you. And the fourth one is going to be focus on achieving some quick wins early on. So what can we do? What's that low-hanging fruit that we can do to help the team and build momentum and boost their morale, right? Is there, something minor that's broken in the break room that you can get fixed pretty quick? Say the microwave is broken. Hey, you go through your purchasing process, get a new microwave. That's going to be a quick win. It's going to help your team's morale improve going from there. And then you want to build relationship with key stakeholders inside and outside of the team. So leadership, once again, is all about relationships. You're going to have to network with other directors or whatever your title is, managers, directors, senior leaders, other executives. You're going to have to network with them if you haven't done that already. So you want to build those relationships, have those lunches, have those coffee breaks, go with them. Same thing with your team. You want to build relationships with your one downs, your two downs, and then the team leads. You want to get with them and, see what they're doing while they're out in their field doing whatever they're doing. Build that alliance and that's going to help you support your team as you go forward. So some real life examples. Nobody starts off as a CEO, right? Everyone has moved into that position unless they start their own company and it blows up, right? But lots of CEOs come into that role from something else. So you want to make sure that you're setting clear goals. And then usually this is going to be your first 90 days, right? You're going to set the goal and then make sure that that transition is smooth because now everyone knows what the 90-day goals are and everybody can move forward. Some of the common pitfalls that we have, right? One of these big mistakes can be implementing change too quickly without fully understanding the current environment. You don't want to come in, going back to the storming and forming and norming phases. You don't want to just come in literally storming and start changing schedules and changing different things about the department or the organization you're taking over because you want to learn about the existing culture before you make any major changes. Obviously, small things, hey, we need to fix this or that right now. Easy to fix, go ahead and do it. But any major changes, especially like scheduling, anything that these employees that you're managing have really become accustomed to over their tenure, you want to make sure that you kind of slow roll that, look at what's going to happen, make sure that everything you're doing is not going to mess up the team dynamics there. Another pitfall is ignoring team feedback and input. So as a new leader, you want to listen carefully to your team because they're the ones that understand the day-to-day realities of the organization. Like I said, you may be over a team that you've never even done this job before. I've taken over departments where I was never in that field. I knew about the field. Obviously, that's probably why I got the position. But you want to talk to these guys or girls and see what they're doing day to day. Get their feedback on some of the challenges they're facing so that you're able to make better decisions on what's going on in their lives. You want to take a balanced approach to driving change, respecting the culture and involving your team in the decision-making process, because you want to make sure that once again, you're getting their feedback and you're getting the culture involved, but that you're not just always making the decisions by yourself. There's also positive and negatives, right? You want to balance those. You can't just be all positive, all positive. There's going to be some negatives in there, but you want to balance those with the positive. Some of the things you do, the team is not going to like, period, no matter how much culture you try to adhere to, but you can balance that out with a positive. The last thing is self-awareness and continuous learning, reflecting on your leadership style and seeking feedback. You want to continuously learn, right? Especially if you're in a trades field. You want to have that continuing education, focusing on what your team is doing and how they're doing it, but also making sure that you're self-aware of anything that you need to get focused on. I myself, when I was in some positions, I went and took additional trainings that I'd never taken before so I could understand a little bit more of what my team was doing. And then seeking leadership feedback. You can do employee feedback surveys, or you can talk to the leaders and the senior people on your team and ask them how you're doing and what they're hearing from the people in the field, and then make those adjustments that's needed as you get that feedback. Hey, you run too much of the meetings, let the next person run some of the meeting, right? Just take that feedback and work forward. So a quick recap, we talked about the importance of leadership transitions and the challenges they bring. We discussed strategies for success, including building trust, team dynamics, and communicating clearly, and some of the real life examples and pitfalls to avoid. So yeah, leadership transitions are opportunities for growth. With you as a leader and your team, you can always use these transitions strategically, and that will help your team grow, right? Reflect on your own experiences, what's worked well and what you can do different. So if you like this episode, it's a short episode. We're in a new podcast room, so that's why we got the blurred background. We're trying to get some of these episodes rebooted, re-uploaded. Guest episodes resume on episode 100. Stay tuned. We've already got some of those recorded, so we'll see you in the next one.
There are thousands of leadership and management podcasts to choose from. We're glad you chose the Leadership Loading Podcast, a Go Heroes production. If you'd like to support Go Heroes Inc., visit www.goheroes.org. And with that, it's time to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for listening. We sincerely hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your family and friends. Let's all grow together. Thanks for listening to the Leadership Loading Podcast. Leadership Inspired.